Hello and welcome. My name is Can Saraç. Today I'm gonna try to show a method I use to get a glitchy sound effect only using white noise and Reaper stock plugins. I think the concept of glitchy sound effect is a very abstract idea. So for me, there's no correct or incorrect way of approaching this sound design. You could do this in many ways, and I don't think any of them would be wrong. So the method I'm going to show is not necessarily a good one or a bad one or a correct or an incorrect one, but it's just one way of approaching this. So maybe it could be helpful to some people and giving some people some idea, some inspiration. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Here I have an empty Reaper session. I'm gonna put on a track and just create an empty MIDI item and put on some white noise on it and glue it. And maybe we'll turn it down a little bit just so it's not super annoying, because we're gonna have to listen to it quite a bit. And first thing I want to do is just like to make it more glitchy, just do like a little bit of bit reduction. And I know there's one Reaper plugin that does this, bit reduction / dither. So we can add this as our first plugin. And I'm just gonna loop this and just play around with the knobs and parameters to make it a little bit glitchy. So yeah, here we go. Just turn down the resolution first a little bit. Yeah, it immediately starts sounding glitchy to me. I mean, compared to the original version. You want to keep the dither on. Noise shaping, maybe dither type. You can just play around with these to get a different effect. High pass dither, maybe off. And the amplitude, you can just play around with it as well to get a desired effect. And for me, I immediately like where we're starting from. This is already sounding like a glitchy sound compared to the white noise. And we'll just take it a step further each time. And the next plugin I want to add is a pitch shifter to make it. For me now it sounds, it's glitchy, but it's sounding like too ear piercing almost. So if I can maybe pitch it down a little bit, or maybe just enough to make it not so annoying. Maybe not octave, but semitones. Now it's changing too much character. Maybe just a 18 semitone shift. This is the original. This is the pitched down version. For me, I like this a little bit better. It's just not as annoying. I mean, you probably want a glitchy sound to be just a little bit annoying, but not that much. Just to, I don't know. It's always a preference thing. Like I said in the beginning, there's no correct or an incorrect thing to do here. It's an abstract experimental sound. The next plugin I want to add is a distortion, to just to distort it a little bit, make it dirtier than how it sounds. By default, the distortion plugin starts out left for some reason, but now it's too loud. Maybe turn down the gain a little bit, so we can increase the hardness. Yeah, it's starting to like become kind of glitchy again. The next thing I want to do is create some, as you can see right now it's like a super mono sound. The next thing I want to do is to create some kind of movement within it, because now it just sounds like a mono sound coming from the center. And to do this, I want to use the panning, the ping pong pan plugin, but there's no way to achieve we only have two settings here. One is the frequency. You can think of it as the speed of the movement, and the other one is the width, like how much. If you make it 0, it's not gonna move. If you make it 100, it's the widest. So we want to make it the widest, but the speed of the change, I honestly don't like the pattern, like the fact that it creates a pattern. So no matter what you set here, it'll be rhythmic, which is something I don't want. I want it to be random. So how can we achieve a random frequency change? And there is a way to do this. If you click or play around with this knob, and if you go to parameter and parameter modulation, here we get this separate window, and here if we use an LFO to modulate this frequency, we will be able to achieve a random result, because in the shape section here we get 6 different options, and my favorite one is the random. The other ones you can use it for various situations, but random is the one I use the most if I want some kind of randomness in my sound. So if we click random here, we'll get this random movement happening, and we can adjust the speed and the default starting position, and which direction we want it to move. So if we keep it centered, and if we keep the default starting position in the middle, it'll just move left and right as fast as it can. And as you can see, like, you get a visual representation as well. So right now we're just getting this random frequency shift, which is, for me, it just adds that random sound of the glitchiness a bit more by creating this movement, which is making it more interesting in my opinion. And next up, what we can do is, I would like to add a Tremolo plugin to create a little bit more motion, but not necessarily the width and the left and rightness, just like that rapid movement, like choppy movement almost, because it's already moving between speakers left and right in a random way. This will just create that a bit more choppy motion feeling. You can play around with different numbers to get desired effect. And finally, what I would like to do is, it's already sounding like a glitchy idea. You can just take this in any way, or you can just leave it as is. I would like to add a gate to just to minimize the super dirtiness and keep the glitchy feel rather than the dirty feel. And the main fader I would be playing around is this one, just to get the right. This is our threshold, obviously. If you move it too much, it's gonna be gone. But if you just keep it like at that sweet spot, and maybe you can increase the attack, increase the release, increase the hold, just to get and yeah, just by using these 1, 2, 6 plugins, we were able to get from here to this glitchy sound effect without having to use any library sounds or paid plugins or anything. You might not like this glitchy sound, you might prefer some other way of doing this. Obviously it would be correct and it would not be right or wrong in my opinion. But yeah, this is just one way I was able to get a result, and hopefully it might be helpful for some people. And thanks for watching. See you next time.